not gonna lie, I just took an entire pile of clean clothes and put it on my bed to get it out of frame, because when creativity strikes, the folding can wait. Hey guys, it's Helen. In the 2 weeks since you've last seen me singing a semi-awful cover, I have moved completely into my new room. I put up my wall of things in the background that I can't view fully because I spent so much time getting the camera like this. Today I just want to talk about what inspires me in what I want to do. Today I'm going to talk about 2 films that made me realize what I wanted to be and what field I wanted to work in that respect. We're going to flash back to around spring 2008. We have 13-year-old Helen, actually no, 12-year-old Helen. We open on a scene in a movie theater in March, coming out of seeing Horton Hears a Who, which is awesome by the way, and John Powell scored that movie, so big points for him. Anyway, she sees this poster for a big budget fantasy film. It's a sequel to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which she mildly enjoyed very, very much and said, maybe I should come back and see that. Flash forward about 2 months later, Helen has just turned 13, and 5 days later, yes, I remember the exact date, goes and sees this new film, Prince Caspian, with her family and is just enamored with all of it. Granted, a huge part of that was Ben Barnes' Prince Caspian, but that is beside the point. And again, let me remind you, I was 13. Thank you very much. We are allowed to have crushes on movie stars. Yes, that is one of the films that really made me realize that I want to make movies. It was a huge inspiration for me for about 2 years after that. I was really obsessed with it. But one thing that it did help me realize through the glorious art of fan fiction was that I could write extended periods of story. But this is a 70-page sort of sequel, I called it on the front, the 8th Narnian Chronicle. 13-year-old me wrote a 70-page long story, and that I still think is pretty darn cool. Have I been able to write anything that long since then? Not really. I've tried, but that movie did kind of make me realize not only could I write this type of thing, but that I really wanted to write this type of thing, whether it was fan fiction or not. I've always had a thing for fantasy. You guys know that my favorite books of ever are like Harry Potter and the Narnia books, and anything kind of related to that I absolutely love, and I would love to be able to write a fantasy screenplay someday. It made me realize that these big fantasy movies were the ones that I wanted to be involved in, if not as an actor, as a screenwriter, as a director. It made me sort of realize that I liked looking at things from behind the scenes. Like, I'm always the type of person that looks at this one shot and is just like, this is so amazing. And of course, watching all the bonus features and seeing all the places that they got to visit to film. Those films are the reason that I want to travel to New Zealand and to find some of these breathtaking locations. They traveled to Bovec in Slovenia to film the second movie, which is absolutely gorgeous. I would love to go to Europe and visit there. One aspect that I really like about this movie is they amped up Susan's character quite a bit, which is amazing. She gets to be awesome with a bow and an arrow, and she gets to fight alongside the guys. My type of stories generally have a female at the forefront, but it is more of an ensemble film, and it's still great to see the girls kick a lot of butt. So there's that. Moving on, the other film, I guess it's 2 films and you probably know what they are going to be. I've mentioned them in almost every single video I've made in the past year. The How to Train Your Dragon movies have also been a humongous influence on me, on my writing. As you know, I wrote a paper about the second movie that I published on my Tumblr page and that the director saw it. These movies, I think, are amazing in the sense that it's just visually breathtaking, but more so that the characters are extremely grounded. It's equal parts an epic story and a personal story. I love the characters that populate this world. I relate quite a bit to Hiccup, to Astrid a little bit. No, Astrid is more of who I aspire to be, but to hiccup and being a loner and feeling different. I feel like I write a lot of characters that feel different, that feel kind of left out, but they know that there's something out there for them, they just don't know what it is yet. The second film in particular has influenced my writing in that I've kind of realized that I want to write sort of a coming-of-age tale. That seems to be a running theme throughout my writing. It kind of made me realize animation is an amazing genre. Really, this movie just confirmed everything I love about animation, and I feel like animation can be for everyone. But movies like Dragons, or even like Rise of the Guardians, or to a lesser extent, I think Big Hero 6, those types of movies, they are starting to deal with more serious subject matter, but they don't pound it over the head. It's very natural. I don't like spoiling things for you, but they deal with loss, and they all deal with it very head on, I think. Some to more of a degree than others. Dragons 2, certainly. It is a family film, and it is a film that kids and adults can enjoy, and I think a lot of animations are that, and I think a lot of people miss that. We do have all of these talented artists working on these films, and especially in Dragons 2, you see these little nuances. One of my favorite moments, the first, is that flying scene. It's amazing. You want to be up there. You don't watch that scene and then not want to be able to fly on a dragon afterward. The second part, little nuance, is Hiccup and Astrid. They're sitting on the side of the cliff, and they're just sitting and talking, and of course, they're a couple. Hickstrid for the win. She starts braiding his hair, and you see just like a little nuance in his face. He just kind of looks over and cracks like a teeny smile, like a blink and you'll miss it smile. But those details, like just in facial expression and everything, these movies really make me wish I could draw or computer animate or anything, because unfortunately, I really suck at that. Basically, so in a nutshell, I'm rambling on. My dream project is to create an epic fantasy movie that appeals both to children and adults and has themes that relate to both adults as well as to children, I think, that relates to everyone. Preferably animated, but live action and whatnot, and who knows, but those are the films they made me want to be a filmmaker. They have awesome female representation. I want to write a script with a very strong female character. Not strong in that she has to kick butt all the time, but strong as she's a person, basically. I don't want my female characters to be kicked off to the side or to be someone else's love interest. I want them to be well-rounded characters in their own right. That's why I want to be a filmmaker. Anyways, thanks for sticking with me as I move in. I'm so glad that I'm sticking to my schedule, third Sunday in a row. Yes, I'll try to stick with it as often as I can. You can subscribe here in the meantime to see some of my past videos and to know what I put out in the future. I also put out a video on my second channel for the first time in about 6 months. It was a tour of my bookshelf, which since then actually has changed, as it periodically does. If you want to know what I get up to when I'm not filming, or if I'm going to be late or early filming a video, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Tumblr, as usual. All of those links will be in the description below. Here's what I want you to tell me in the comments. What films have influenced you, or have made you realize what you want to be? It doesn't necessarily have to be anything in the film industry. Remember to keep living awesome lives. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. Alright, just because I want you to see the wall of things. That's all that's here for.